Hello, I am Jaci Byrne, author of The Music Maker of Auschwitz IV. This is my grandfather's story and based on his World War II diaries. Drum Major Harry Jackson endured 5 years as a prisoner of war in Nazi concentration camps throughout Poland. As with most who survive war, on his return, my grandfather just wanted to forget about his ordeal. As soon as he was reunited with his beloved wife, my grandmother, and 4 daughters, he stowed away his diary in the attic of his home and tried to get on with life. More than 50 years after the end of that war, and 30 years after Harry's death, his daughter, my aunt, found the diary. Having spent her entire life caring for various relatives, my spinster aunt decided to visit her last remaining sister, my mother, in Australia. Aunt Mona brought with her family memorabilia, among which was my grandfather's diary. Years later, Mum and I were going through old photos that she kept in a cardboard box, and there I found the diary. I could not put it down. My grandfather was 42 years of age when captured by the Germans in France, 1940, so he was understandably concerned about his chances of survival. When he entered Auschwitz IV, the second largest subcamp of the notorious Auschwitz concentration camp complex, my grandfather despaired. Even today, few people realise that they were Allied soldiers interned in Auschwitz. Harry Jackson was an accomplished musician, and when his captors discovered his talents, they made him their Kapellmeister, or maker of music, to entertain them. And it was at this point he realised he perhaps had a chance of seeing out the war. Despite ill health, malnutrition, brutal working conditions, and harsh punishments from the guards, my grandfather survived. Over the ensuing 3 years, he toiled 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, and then led his orchestra at night entertaining the Nazis. And he recorded everything in his diary: the maltreatment of Allied soldiers, the attempted escapes, the suicides, the persecution of Jews and Poles, the Nazi brothels, the Russian advancement, and finally, the Germans in retreat. Nearly 6 years after leaving for war, my grandfather was among the very few to survive an horrific 20-day forced march through the Austrian Alps, after which he collapsed in a barn, clinging to life and praying for liberation. He was found by an Australian soldier. The only possession he carried was his diary.